Boom, boom, boom. Good night. Good night, everybody. Welcome to this week's episode of the Up Insider podcast. I'm here with my co-host, Lovely Nell.
Good night.
Child,
Hello.
good. Good.
Always a hit finger boy.
Oh, that finger. The long finger of the law. But anyways,
Yeah, tonight is
we're
double
here
finger
with-
call. I cutting people tonight. So talk.
before we go further, somebody in chat can let me know if one can hear we good, because you know sometimes it's got a little
Yeah,
tech
true.
stuff. But you know, we should
Sound
be plugging.
check. Sound check.
Sound check 1 2 1 2.
Sound check.
As Matrix would say, the mic on, the mic working.
Mic working.
The mic working. What's going on, for? How is everybody doing tonight? This is the Up Inside episode for.
Sound check.
Yeah. It working on my end. So
I'll see.
Okay, good.
this is episode.
Thanks, Jane.
we tell you it really a year later because this is almost a year to the day, or probably
Yes, it is. Yes, it is. The entire year.
Yes, it is.
Mhm.
Wow.
17.
Our first COVID case and the first lockdown in Barbados. So, a lot has changed in a year, and we're here to talk about it tonight. Well, before we go further, I gonna let my partner Chad tell you guys about the sponsors.
Yeah, people, we're going on with one of mine. Listen, we got large off. We beautiful sponsors every single week. I do have to apologize for last week because I was told by some people that I was talking while Keita was trying to big up the sponsors at the end. But when I know when
Yeah.
I get in my zone, I be in my zone. So let me large off that cuts. They get their opportunity to reopen this week. And Keita and myself, as you can see, we looking double turn to side profile. Let the people see what going on
Yeah,
there. Keita,
Cloud
change that
Nine say
face.
as if
Change that
Keto was
face.
your first
Bra,
day.
bra, bra.
Keto was you was the
Nah,
first day,
So
Barber?
nah, I wanted to go on the first day, but it didn't
so
materialize. So I
Oh,
went
okay.
on the second. I went on Tuesday.
All right, so a large off try that cuts. We hoping that he pop up inside of the chat at some point. We got also a large off Allery Media Productions, who just constantly bring
Everything.
us every single week
Boom.
our
Big up.
flyers, our videos, our promotional stuff.
Big up,
That
big up, big
is
up.
our guys behind the scenes doing everything. All these beautiful graphics you're seeing right now as this podcast goes on. Give thanks all the time to Allery Media Productions. So head on over to the page and get some stuff done for your business, for your people. Get out as a gift to somebody, man. Somebody got a business that need a flyer done. Head on over to Allery Media Productions.
Mm-hmm.
All right, next we got a large off Barely Sober Entertainment. It looking like if we can be barely sober
Barely
this time
sober.
because everything's starting to undo a little bit. We getting a little bit of leash there going on. So I hoping that everybody out there keep safe, keep doing what they're supposed to do so that come now and the summertime we could see some things going on. All right, so we hoping for that. Big up Barely Sober anywhere there. Next we got big
Yeah.
up Journey of a Bell. Jersey. What happened? No, I hear you say yeah. Just now you thought saying how about all right? Yeah, we got big up
No, I
Jersey
didn't.
Bell, Journey of a Bell. That is all. That's for all about the ladies with the menstrual cups. A brand new alternative for the ladies in that regard. You can't really speak much on that because I never had any experience with it. But we got Janelle for that on that end. So big up Journey of a Bell, and I think you can find them
It's
at
Jersey Bell. Jersey
Jersey
Bell.
Bell, right? On
Journey of a Bell
Instagram.
is something else.
Okay. Well, I'm gonna mention it up then. But still, journey of women, journey of a woman. So all these same thing time back in. We got also bigger the mobile massage therapy. They are
Woo,
looking to
woo.
launch back in a big way as well, based on the fact that we do have a little bit of ease happening at this point.
Yeah.
So make sure that you get yourself checked out, put yourself first. That's the name of it. Me first. So put yourself first. All the women teachers that sitting down day in, day out, looking over a tablet, looking over a laptop, sitting down and stressing out your sciatic nerve and everything. Come and get one of the behinds and thing, chop up. You understand? Yeah, that chop was scroll there, just no camera, just no shit. So yeah, man. We got these sponsors all
Yeah, big
the
sponsors.
time.
And guess what?
All the time.
Before we go even further, you too in the comments. Any small business who is also doing this, when for you too can be a sponsor, just get in contact with our team, and you can discuss with us and consider sponsorship with us. So we're on to the topic 1 year later. So there's a lot. Well, this is the biggest year of change that anybody probably has ever seen in your life. I know for everybody has a different experience of what has changed for them. People in the comments can notify us of what you think will be the biggest change over the past year. But I'll go straight to Janelle. I mean, what to you over the past year? So much has changed. What would you say would be the biggest change that would have taken place over the past, I would say, 12 months?
For the 12 months, that I don't need to take any BS from anybody. I think it's gone much stronger. Because anything can happen, anything could change overnight, and I really did get to spend a lot of time in self-reflection, a lot of time on like where am I going professionally, personally, and that definitely is something that stood out for me. And another change too would have been having more value for my loved ones, having understanding, like how rough things is be, even for myself, sometimes I just gotta check out, you know, and it being okay to check out, you know, it is okay. And that's something that I also understand. The year being home so much, yeah, you got a lot of time to think.
What will you
That's it.
try? What will you try? What will you say the biggest change to you over the past 12 months?
Um, as usual, I think that I can be the person that just typical because all really and truly COVID didn't teach me anything new. I already high on life. I already have an appreciation deeply for people that I interact with on a daily basis, people that I may not see on a regular basis, and I reach out to a lot of people. I talk to a lot of people. I stay in contact with those who I cherish a lot. So if anything, it only like solidified the role that I on and the practices that I carry to continue them because we just don't know. You just never know. And I always was living that from the time I was 16 years old. And I lost a very close friend of mine when we went to Alexandra School. And I was like 16 years old, and this man passed. Is like, yeah, that's when I think the reality hit me that life is fleeting. And ever since then, that day, I just never took anything or anybody for granted. So all COVID come and do is show me to keep steadfast on the road that I chose all of those years ago. So I just hope that everybody on that same path are recognizing the path. And I think what I will say though for real is that entrepreneurship in a big way has came into my life. It has solidified in my mind. And most importantly, because of COVID and the shutdowns and everything and the pausing on livelihoods and stuff, it has my brain turning in regard to somehow find my way within the more essential parts of life, like agriculture or something like that, because certain people it's still business as usual. My mother, fortunately, she's a nurse and everything, so it's like COVID never happened, if you understand what he's saying. Because she was
Yeah.
still working and still going through the motions of a job. Yes, it would have been more training and whatever, but it did not affect her daily bread. That's all it is. So all I would say to people is just be more aware, try to get away with it. Even if you can't feed people, feed yourself. Learn how to feed yourself, because this can become a staple in life going forward. So that's what I take from the past 12 months.
Well, let me tell one of my experience, and I appreciate you guys for sharing. Thank you for sharing your one of the experiences because it means a lot to me. And you gave me the perfect segue because for me, I've done so much over the past year, and I've been so grateful. I try to be optimistic over the past 12 months. I mean, there were a lot of things over the past 12 months where I actually felt depressed. A lot of people even ask me if I ever get depressed because they always see me in either a jovial mood or up and happy, posting memes, making sport what's not. But it does take a toll on you psychologically. But over the past 12 months, I can say that honestly, like I've done a lot. I've enhanced significantly my cooking skills. I literally did a lot of learning in
Mhm.
as it pertains to cooking and doing different meals, different delicacies, trying to quote unquote master them, but get a greater understanding of how to cook certain things.
Mhm.
And we've created this podcast. I mean, we should get a round of applause for just creating this podcast because this podcast was somewhat of a COVID baby. This
Yeah, it
happened
was.
during COVID, and this podcast was created over the past 12 months. It was amazing. It was a great journey. I remember us starting and the hiccups we had from the get go. The first
Mhm.
episode, we couldn't
First
really get.
episode,
We were trying to use Zoom, and Zoom was telling me, "Nah, bro, nah."
not tonight.
We was like, "All right, we got a good live on Instagram," and then I asked somebody to chat.
Yeah,
And nah, it was you had your minor hiccups at the beginning and what's not, but
lessons,
it was
man,
great
lessons.
getting into media and podcasting and that sort of thing. So it was cool. I remember them nervous days coming home from work, trying to say, "Well, I can be good for tonight," and that sort of thing. But no, I don't want to say that he's the
Mhm.
most confident person in the world, but I see a lot more
Yeah, yeah.
comfortable than when we first started. So, this podcast has been a beautiful thing since COVID. But also crop stuff outside the kitchen garden, that's our things. That's also part of the COVID experience for me as well. So, these things have gone a long way. It's helped me. Like at the beginning of COVID, I don't know if it was just bad luck or if it was just me, but my PS4, I used to play a lot of games, right? I used to.
Mm.
I'm a PS4 went bum at the beginning of COVID. I couldn't get a part till the country opened back. So I had to take all that time, that I would have been at night looking to, play
Yeah.
games and whatnot, interact with people. I took that time into account. I was like, learn something new, try something different. I started doing a little bit of editing, start doing the recording here. These little different things I was just trying to learn and gain knowledge between that period. So read a book, these sort of things. But so I can say that I've done a lot through COVID. It's not all bad. I spent a lot more time at home because you know me, I still like my party. I like my beardy soul, but I like my I partaking in activities and what's not, and it has significantly slowed down. I have not gone out as much as I would used to over a year. There wasn't a crossover. That was a significant impact on me and a significant impact on the Barbados economy. And you have your withdrawal symptoms. Let's go look back at old videos and get all sentimental and things, and but all in all, I can say that for me personally, on my personal journey, it was great. It was great.
Also, definitely.
Yeah, boy, you sound like you do enough.
Yeah, boy. Candles for Culture. Oh, good. Yeah. Candles for Culture was saying that her biggest change was focusing more on self-care and learning to be more malleable with short-term changes. And I really identify with that, particularly with the self-care. Funny enough, at the beginning of 2020, I had decided that I was going to commit to myself and doing more things for myself. I had scheduled out time for pedicures and thing, and just like candlelit times alone. And then let me tell you, and then I had.
Not to cut you off, but I want to say a big shout out to Candles for the Culture for sure.
Ooh,
Yeah.
I love candles. So I'm gonna hit you up, girl. I'm gonna definitely. But like,
we litty. So
litty,
yeah. Yeah.
Yeah, so true though. But like little things that I put down. I said, yeah, I want this to happen. Like I said, I want to spend more time with the children, more device free time. And two things happened. My TV stopped working at the very beginning of the year. I mean, legit, it stopped working. Yes. And then we had the online experience, and Jana's class, her teacher they built in device days every 2 weeks. So it was like, I say this here, I know because if they were at school, they didn't give me no device day, so definitely taking care of yourself and being willing to just change and ebb and flow when you're called to, definitely would have been a big game changer over the past 12 months.
That's amazing.
Yeah, and we have another comment here too, from Janelle. Jay is saying that trying to balance his self-care, same thing, and teacher life. Online school easily cross over into her personal space and set any boundaries to cut it off and have a not one. I don't. Sorry, my bad. Yes, but to have your things on Saturdays. So because it was like statistics, but it was that. My girl said,
no, she said Saturday, right? That threw me right off because before COVID had started, I was working 2 jobs back to back. I was working both from the bank, which is my main 9 to 5 Monday to Friday, and I was working both at the Korean all weekends. And COVID has significantly impacted, and it has cut one of my incomes because it has slowed down the hotel work. So therefore then I've been laid off from the hotel over the Saturday period. Had the option to go back, but didn't take it and so on. But I still have that option, but it has significantly impacted a lot of people's pockets, and it did mine too. But I also gained it was just an optimistic look and approach to it where because Saturdays for the past 13 years, 13 years. I would say every Saturday for the past 12, 13 years I've been working. I've never been to most places that open on Saturday. Before this year, I never went to Lamar, but I've never been to places that people enjoy on Saturdays, go for a drive around the country, all these different things. And I was able to do that this year. It's outlook and the approach that you look at these things, because whilst the income has been taken away, I just try to look at the positives and look at
Yes,
something else,
definitely.
another area that you could build for yourself within that period of time. So yeah, sad is boy, I actually enjoy Saturdays now. Say that.
That's good. I know
So
about who being on the road all the time. Yeah, go ahead. Sorry, Chad.
just asking Chad.
Huh?
No, go ahead.
No, there was something that I was gonna ask you or ask everybody. Like, what will you if there's anything that you can remember or that stood out, whether it's the best or the worst for you over this year, you can recall what it was?
The best or the
Because
worst?
I know that you spoke on being forced to deal with you cooking because you didn't have the ability to game as you wanted to. But was there
Yeah,
anything
I
that
always have the worst.
really stood out for you in this year that you could say, whenever you take back about COVID shutdowns, restrictions, etc.? What is that stick out for you the most?
That they had a couple of them. Like true. So that hurt.
Uh,
It's not you.
I haven't enjoyed my birthday. I mean, my birthday was normal. We was outside at that point in time. You know, I had a cool
uh,
birthday, had a good birthday dinner, you know, that sort of thing. But crop over be, you know, was a whole July. I ain't went to nobody, so I can't work charity. You know, I live for this or this or experiences. And crop over is
mm,
a staple that I look forward. I look forward to crop over more than Christmas, more than Independence, more than anything. I look forward to crop over, and I was not able to enjoy crop over this year, last year, sorry, and it took a toll on me not being able to know what the new songs can be, the crop experience of the last crop, and all these different like things they look forward to at crop over, get the
Mm-hmm.
events and meeting people, seeing people that you don't see for the year, that sort of thing. I used to look forward to that, but COVID said, "Nah, bro,
No, no, no.
nope."
you know that it again said that your sister probably could identify the most with you, and she just popping. I know she just popping the chat, so that means she missed that rendition that you were given about missing crop over and all that. Because I remember going through you and Crystal statuses and IG stories and just seeing when I'm going to these facts and all kind of thing. So I used to live vicariously. I think that's what is call it true winner because
Yeah,
you know that I was always a host. Mostly don't really like a big law crowd. So it's only now that I was on the road a couple of times that I started seeing all the big trucks moving with the cans heading over to the
yeah,
sugar factory that it signifies that the crop would have started, and this is the time where you start hearing the music and the transitioning from the beginning of the year into summer vacation and so on and so forth. But yeah, Janelle, if what it is that you were saying was a standout moment for you, whether good or whether bad, throughout this entire 12 months,
Period.
yeah,
Well,
was the
one for
restrictions
sure.
or the or yeah.
Yeah. One for sure. I did get more time to think about myself and how the life I would have been living and stuff like that. And I had the opportunity to do like an unmasking. I did a retreat in the beginning of July, and leading up to that, I was doing this. I'm moving every day of the year. I was posting and everything for this year, and they mean from the first, so this is before the COVID time. And
mm,
then I realized that yes, I was doing it, and yes, I was encouraging people, but it was also taking a lot out of me in the
yeah,
posting and everything. I know to sometimes just say yes to myself or I admit to myself, okay, well, I'm not about this or whatever. So that definitely would have stood out for me. And also the family elements, being able
Mm.
to enjoy the children a lot more. Like so, I had so then from that same July time, we went to the beach every single week. It was something I had put on my vision board, and I had started going, yeah, sometimes, but then we dedicated that time, and that changed how pretty much how I think about things, and I don't bother about them as much as before because it may as y'all know, y'all always talking about my schedule. It is very packed, but
Mm.
I
for
have
sure.
still been able to make time for my children.
So
Yo,
this
I'm
was
glad.
when the beaches were open at the 6 to 9
Yes,
time or
yes. No, well,
Wait,
after. when they had, because remember the beaches were closed and they had to close at 6 exact. And
Uh-huh.
from the time that stopped, which was in July, I think it was July that that came to an end. Then we did that, and then one of the things that my son had said, so he wanted to learn how to swim, and I was like, this is a way for us to do it. And every single week we went to the beach, and now he goes out to the boat,
Wow.
because of that consistency and that dedication. So that definitely stood out for
Yo,
me.
that's
My
something they
12 months.
really gonna that's something they really gonna learn to do. Be like, I am not a confident swimmer, so I definitely gonna get, learn some self talk. I can't say self talk because they can't teach that to myself. I gotta do some in my lesson. Well, you said something just now that really stood out to me just now, because I'm on social media a lot, right? And over the past 12 months, I found that social media has been a lot more taxing than it had been before, given all the people being on social media crowded because of COVID-19. Can't go say you're doing everything on social media. But I found it like real important over the past 12 months to tap Brit with social media. Like,
Yeah.
Brit to the point where I off social media for 3-4 days or a week, and people messaging me asking if I'm good, and then they'll see me messages 4 days later. And I'm like, yeah, I just need to take a break, because a lot of people don't realize how toxic social media could be. And I definitely felt it over the past 12 months, because, yeah, I could go on Instagram or Twitter or Facebook every day and see what everybody talking about, but should be like, I can't live like that. I could get news from other sources and then
Other
see what's
sources.
up. And I was like, nah, bro, I can't do this. I can't do this social media thing every day. And because you can't do it, interact with people physically, that social media, looking at a phone and God play or send a voice, that was definitely playing a big toll on me. And I find that my stress level went up to some extent, and I couldn't figure out why, but I felt really comfortable on those days not being on social media,
On
and
social media.
it
Yeah.
really helped me.
But you know what's so crazy about what you're saying? The fact that most people's lives were extremely busy and hectic, as you aforementioned, before COVID came into the picture, and restrictions and so on. But you see a different level of stress came into the picture because of the fact that you had more free time on your hands. And I think a lot of people could relate to this, because I think we go with a lot of the episodes past, I would be mentioning that a lot of people had to be in spaces and places that they were not comfortable, whether it's their home or otherwise, because a lot of people were so busy with going to work, having children to deal with, having outside activities, having the ability to go out online. They just used to avoid home, because they just turn up at home, go and lay down, get up early to bed, and do it all over
Go
again.
again.
But a
Yeah.
lot of people had to sit down and recognize, well, I gotta sit down or exist in this space with this person that I don't really have a relationship with, even though that they're my family or they're my spouse or they're my lover or whatever the case. And that's where another dynamic of stress came into the picture, and a lot of households were under pressure because of that fact. So it's so ironic that you had mentioned that you were so busy before COVID, you did as busy, but then your stress levels went up. You see how
Yeah.
ironic that is? But yours was different. Obviously, fortunately, the three of us come from or have created households that we comfortable. So we don't
Right.
really have much to complain about, or we don't
Mm-hmm.
have an angle
Yeah,
to
but
speak on where that we
I've,
say, oh, but
I've heard
I just don't like my wife or whatever. You understand?
I've heard so many
Mm-hmm.
people talk about the reality of spending more time with the children at the end of custody, spending time home with the wife, spending also their girlfriend or other half, for lack of better words, that they have not been able to spend that more time home. And I know people that were stressed from it. I know there are people in the world that would have committed suicide and all sorts of different things
Yeah.
because they don't know how to interact and how to deal with this sorry emotion. It's new for them. So they might say, oh yeah, I can do this here to this little COVID thing over. And then when they realize that COVID is here to stay and this COVID is actually something that and it's actually a real long term something, they realize like, yo, like, I can't do this here. I can guarantee you that over the past, I would say I would say from January to November, December, January, the rate for like depression has significantly gone up. I think that more so psychiatric assistants and psychologists and all these different mental health guidelines and people are played a significant role because it's like, yo, I need help, and a lot of people don't want to express that they need help. So the quickest thing that you would do then in that situation is try to take yourself out of the situation, like maybe taking your own life or something like that. I mean, it might not necessarily be that extreme, but you think along those guidelines. So, yo, this has been a weird year.
Definitely.
Rain don't start to pour down here, but you know, I don't know if when they get rain up,
Yeah,
but rain don't start to
it
pour.
had rained a lot earlier here.
I ain't never
Lately, but
shit full of Drake. Drake a bull.
no, it's rain every day, boy. Hey, every day, every day, boy. I say we
Yeah,
make not having a sea. I see so all the
yeah,
time, you know, like what they're saying because I'm gonna beach that I need all this water. I get it.
probably. You probably do though.
Yeah, but you know what,
We're a very
Kita?
water scarce country, you know. So you do.
True. So
True.
we need that
True.
water. So listen, you see the thing that you had mentioned while you were talking there just now is like for me, within the 12 months, right? I feel like what I went through was a little different to, well, I guess to some people because initially when I came back from Canada and I had like maybe a couple weeks before the COVID corona side and everything, I immediately after that when we were shutting down and gyms were closed because I was in the gym consistent and everything.
Doing
I
certain things.
decided, you know what? I ain't giving up. I can maintain because you know that's when they come at me with the 2 week situation. So I said, man, for this 2 weeks, I can just do a at home something to maintain the activity. And I will never forget the Thursday when I usually do Monday to Thursday workout. That Thursday after I'd have finished my last burpee, I would never forget that. I laid on the ground and I started to get this pain in my abdominal area. And then eventually over the next 24 hours, it became a situation that it migrated to my lower right quadrant, which then eventually came out to be my appendix. So imagine having to deal with such a situation amidst a pandemic where that everybody now getting accustomed to it. There's a lot of chaos, there's a lot of uncertainty, and it's like I personally didn't know how it was gonna work out. Fortunately, it did. But then when everybody else was going through the motions of oh I can't left home or whatever, home
Yeah.
was already on the script for me because I was bedridden literally for I think it was six
Yeah.
weeks. The 6 weeks that I
Universe,
would have had to be
the
go
universe
ahead, what
tell
you
you
say?
that the universe tell you to stay home. In essence,
Yeah, basically. So I was already prepared to be down for a little bit, but other people
yeah,
were being forced to be down. Mandatory for me, I had to be down. So I didn't really feel the initial portion of it, like how everybody else. Because I think when I had 2 more weeks left, that was when um that was when everybody was getting back into no more restrictions. I think we'd have had the till 12 o'clock as the curfew, meaning 12 p.m., 12 a.m.
yeah.
Sorry. So it's
Mm-hmm,
like
mm-hmm.
I didn't feel the effects of the initial lockdown during the March to May period. I didn't feel it at all because I was already under a different lock and key situation. So when it all came back again, that was when it was like fresh or the first go around for me. So I just feel like I just had an appreciation for everything because let me say this too, I got big up the nurses right through because I was in the hospital at that point in time, the level of care had not dropped at all. Because COVID was taking over constantly. We hear COVID, COVID, COVID. the people within the hospital, you talking about the orderlies, I talking about the janitors, I talking about
Yeah.
the ancillary staff. Everybody still was operating on a certain level, and I just have to big them up in that regard. I even remember the lady who was receiving me when I got my call from the operating theater. That lady was so nice and so like gentle and talking to me and keeping me calm and whatever. She didn't know that was my
Helps you.
731st surgery, but she treat me like if it was my first one. So I just got bigger. I got bigger our QEH. I constantly hear that that you get some one-off situations, but I astutely believe that when it's our own taking care of us, there's a different level of care given at all times. So I got big them up. I got big them up for that idea. So for real, for real.
And bigger the nurses, the hospital, bigger the essential workers in general too. I mean, like it had to be a real hard year for essential workers on the
Or
whole.
for them. Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Yeah, because they had a break and these restrictions and the increase in workload that they would have had to pick up over the past
Yeah.
12 months really increase. And it's like I don't know how to do it, but they pulled together and did it, and they clearly didn't doing it for the money. They were doing it for the love, for the job, and for the people.
Definitely.
So big up with yourself, for sure.
Yeah,
Mhm.
I totally agree with y'all because like we will see one side, but like something that stood out for me is the fact that and I guess the child would have seen in the experience. When you're going into the hospital, when you're dealing with things, usually you will get people to come to visit you all the time and this and that thing, and then
Yeah.
you have people who are already sick who don't have anybody coming to them. The only persons who are around them are the nurses. You can only have one person with you. When you're in the hospital, only and then like people can only come and pick up things or whatever. So then that's an extra burden to me on the persons who are working in the hospital. I think that they will probably because they're gonna get that energy from the patients, in whatever position, be it in outpatients, because the lady's going to get their to like for the baby thing. They're going alone. They can't go with anybody and stuff. So it has to be a very difficult time, not just because of the work, the regular work issues that will come with it, but you will definitely get a mental strain having to take on other person's issues as well mentally.
Yeah, for sure, for sure, for sure. Yeah, I know at childhood surgeries. I hear saying that I never had a surgery in my life in a while.
Real
I
thing?
might, well,
Wow.
not since it was probably two. But I had never had surgery since then,
But
really.
you wouldn't have registered that then. You
Mm-mm.
wouldn't
Exactly.
have registered
But
that. You ever had
I
any
don't know.
broken bones or anything like that?
Me
Never,
neither. I never had any broken bones or anything like that.
Oh,
never.
Knock
I
on
well,
wood.
I never
never.
had a broken bone either, but I had a lot of surgeries when I was a youth, man. Like I just so accustomed to needle jokes now. It don't ever feel it don't be nothing.
I've had experiences at the. I've never been to the QEH as a patient, but I've been to the FMH probably once or twice. Like when I was at secondary school, there were ones I think I had an asthma top. I didn't have asthma thing, and that was
Mm-hmm.
it. But I can't say that I've ever experienced anything of that magnitude as it pertains to like a medical condition or even
Mm.
being ill or even to yes that right break a bone or so. But I do know that there are a lot of different experiences people get when they do go to the hospital, and for the majority part, from what I've heard, they're usually pretty good. I know everybody's got the one-off where they have a bad experience, but usually the experience is pretty good. So big up the nurses and essential workers. But yo,
Yeah,
it's a
for
year
sure.
of this. What would you say within this new year, no, the net of
Mm.
COVID related year that everybody wants to work on, or you have plans for in the future that you know that you can do no without the impact of COVID because we already know how to COVID is here to stay or whatever. And you know that COVID has impacted a lot of people and there are different processes, but you know that how you can move forward now with COVID-19 being amongst you in the atmosphere. So you know like, you got new things that you want to do that may or may not be impacted by COVID, but you will still be able to push through. So what's something new that you will that you want to do COVID or no COVID?
You want to go first?
You go ahead, John.
All right, cool. Well, for me, one of the things that has to put the brakes on for the time being would be traveling. I actually was planning to do a bit more traveling after 2019 into 2020, and it was looking like something that I really was gonna get to do more of. But
Yeah.
obviously, we gotta wait until I guess governments and countries decide, all right, this is the way forward. Because I don't work in any capacity that requires me to travel for me to be following those trends at this moment. So I guess I just gotta wait like majority of the people who travel for leisure to see what's going
Yeah.
on, what's gonna be the requirements and all of that stuff if I want to go forward with it, etc. But I think for me going forward, no. Like I said at the beginning of the show, entrepreneurship is definitely the focal point in my mind. It is where I know that I have a lot to offer on a big scale when it comes to dealing with people, dealing with situations. And I love the fact that this podcast started within the time that it did because I felt like I wanted to be in radio so badly, and I felt like I needed to prove myself to this person or that entity or whatever the case may be. And I would never forget when Allery Media Production spoke to me and said, Child, I remember you telling me that you want to do a podcast. We got time now, meaning this was when we was about to go in the shutdown. He said, we got time now, come up with a name. And everybody, I think majority of the people who would have come in would know the story of how Up and Say started, how it got its name, etc. And I feel so much more empowered now. Like, and one of the beauties about this podcast is the fact that we can say what we have to say without any filter, because we ain't got a big machine behind us restricting us in what we say, what we do, what we think, what we feel. And that is a big part of my life because I live a lifestyle where that I am true to me. I had my time in the past when I was young and in experience where that I didn't used to say what I really felt, and I used to always feel like I was doing myself a major injustice because I was not staying true to my feelings. And I can say now that I am older and I'm wiser and a lot stronger in my personality that I just say what I have to say, and it just there's no recourse behind what it is I say. Like you could attack me for what I say for sure, but I can be able to defend myself because I know what I'm saying. I stand what I'm saying because there's what I feel to say. So I am thankful for this platform in that regard, and I only seeing it going forward, and many opportunities have come forward for me to be in other situations, to come to talk, to have spoken on other people's shows. People approach me and tell me, well, look, Chad, I like this, I want you to be a part of this, etc., etc. So I just like the ideas that so many different things are coming to me now, but they're not infringing upon what it is that I truly want to do, which is to ultimately be an entrepreneur, work for myself, find different avenues to be in. And I really and truly have been thinking about since the shutdowns, even though I want to do this and I want to do that, those are things that are stopped because of a shutdown. So now it's challenging me to think, okay, well, child, you gotta find something that can keep happening even when a country goes into shutdown. So I need to find myself in a market that is essential based. So that is where I am at mentally and what is making me go forward at this point. So I don't know if when I got anything to say about what you're saying, or if I don't want to put in one piece about what is at on the forefront of your minds at this moment.
Anything for you, Janelle?
I like the trajectory that Chad is on. I mean, he's living his life just as what Jada said, that she's living her life to the fullest because nothing ever gonna stop the rain. So regardless of what's happening around us, we still have to be how we want to be for ourselves. So thanks for giving me time for me to really think about, because I did a vision board and everything, and I know what I want, but like we're really standing out.
I gotta do one of them, though.
Yeah, it's work, boy, it's work. But one of the things I know I need to work on is quieting the itty bitty shitty committee in my head, because I know that in everything I seem to be my own worst enemy, because I have a lot of people who who are there who are cheering me on. I have a lot of opportunities, more opportunities than I thought, including this one that presented itself when I didn't even seek it out. And you have to take advantage of these things. And it's more for me to be consistent, to be confident, and to be committed. And I think everything I do, everything I say is about consistency, commitment, and confidence. And a person who know I was not originally a part of the Up Inside Your podcast, and I guess from my consistency, I was, you know, like, yeah, and it helps me, encourages me, you know, to keep going. Like, yeah, you can do. There are things there for you, such as this, that you gotta take better advantage of. So, and pardon.
And risk, because when you did initially come on, you the rearing to go, but then maybe the actually getting ready to Thursday, you the frightened.
I was.
It was like, because go ahead, you can explain that to people.
Definitely. I remember it was like everything was just happening all at once. I was thinking, because it was like I thought for living, but to be talking for living, like for other people other than the children, oh my goodness. That was a big thing. And then it was also me taking on new responsibilities. I was going to be acting in a senior position. I was going to be studying. I just got classes on Thursdays. That's why my friend Janelle was there saying that you're tired. Long teaching day, class in the evening, and still up inside there. But I just can't. It just keep me, you know, like, yeah. And I'm thankful for you guys for being patient with me as well. Because I may not be here every single week, but it's still, you know, but as I said, it does help a lot. This avenue, it helps. I love venting, and I don't have many people to vent to because I don't trust people. My best friend said she got trust issues. I got trust issues, so I trust her, so I just be cool, right? But yeah, so I like this, and I know that this I'm not just Up Inside There, obviously, but when you put your mind to something and you're consistent and you're committed to it, things are gonna work out. Every day it's gonna work out. You know, like I go walking and I think on mornings, people in St. George, rain falling and them outside walking, it's like I can stop inside. If I can't stop inside with the rest of the people outside walking, you know. So
the fighting about themselves.
It is true. Don't care how much junk I eat too. But yeah, so that's what's going forward from this a year later, going forward for me. Commitment, consistency, confidence, and care. A lot of self-care, because let me tell you, I take care of myself. Yeah, so self-care, quieting my head, my own thoughts that help me going forward, and actually taking care of myself.
Well,
you, Gita?
For me, a lot. And Janelle end on self-care, and I start on self-care. You know, it took a lot more belief in myself in different areas. I want to try new things. I want to dip into new ventures. I think that, you know, whilst I enjoy life on social media, I want to be going to the next level as it pertains to social media. I don't want to say that I want to be a social media activist, but I want to go to another level with social media. I want to do a lot. I want to also work on reading more often. Like, I often don't have the opportunity to fully read books, even during the time when my PS4 they're working or well during COVID. I don't get to read books, and I found that, you know, it stick a lot with me sometimes to maintain interest in a physical book, because I'm more of a watch TV or watch a documentary type of person as opposed to read a book. But I find that the value of reading is so much more significant than watching a movie, and I want to do so much more as it pertains to learning new things via reading. Also want to enhance my cooking career, you know, my culinary skills and all that. You know, learn new recipes. I mean, I actually have a hunger for learning it, you know, because a year ago when I start to, you know, go down this direction, I thought cooking was like, watching cooking shows was corny. And I just happened to go on YouTube and I start finding like these different people that do cooking shows on YouTube, and then making them fun and, you know, making them interesting, I think. And it grew on me, and I met that whole thing. I don't want to tell everybody here's a master chef or nothing like that, but I trying to get to a sorry, like, you know.
I use a master chef though. I taste you barbecue. I think before use a master chef.
I taste it though.
So
and you gotta tell me about these ways, because you know. Yeah, tell you, he gotta do some again bring up my ear first so you could have two ear first but at the same time to help with this
Well,
filling a hole for everybody.
thanks for that, you know, man. No problem.
Yeah,
But
man.
yeah, but I still here, man. I still try to eat the most things in Barbados. You know what I mean? Well, basically, need to hire me and come and sponsor this podcast because you know I rep them brand strong. So basically, if you want to listen
Listen, but
over
it's
there.
going there.
Yeah,
I
this
can
go
ask.
wasting time, man.
I can ask somebody. It's going there and buy the Lucias and things for your children.
Yeah, I like them their
Yes,
body.
maybe you. Yeah, you.
But they need to give me a shirt or a saying or some
We
sort of
on to
Somebody,
this.
somebody need to
yeah,
tag with Bisco, or somebody need to tag them because he is a real strong representative for that
I like
vanilla
tea
tea thing,
times,
man.
boy.
They're
yeah.
wasting
But
time. They are
I see
wasting
Janelle
time.
in the chat. Somebody JNL tree. Her name is
Yeah, it's
Janelle,
Janelle. Her
right?
name is Janelle, yeah.
Somebody trade all the books. And you know what? The other member of this podcast who's behind the scenes, he actually introduced me back fully into audiobooks, and that is something I have really been using. I have work. I actually enjoy audiobooks, and you know, it was basically an interesting experience to hear different voices reading books, and you're not having to put that much focus or watch something into listening or actually physically read a book. But audiobooks has been a revelation for me too, for sure.
For you.
So I actually been able to read 3 books via audiobook with last year. So yeah, it was cool.
Yeah.
It was
That's
cool. It was cool. But
Man,
yeah,
we can listen,
but with
Keto. You know what
yeah,
happened? We can make
this one
something happen
over
for
there
you,
though.
man. I could see them making a they can make some sort of biscuit with we on it, man. And we can see a place up on top of the what is called I know the garbage truck where they got the COVID-19 vaccine thing. We can be putting things just now.
Already is
I
working with that
is
too, so we will see.
serious. I is
But
serious, you know. This term is
yeah,
serious. This mantra is serious. So don't get tired. The trade we can be on posters. We can be on what is called there adopt a bus stop things, and it coming, it gonna come because they saying it gonna come.
well,
And they believe in it
I
strong enough for it to come.
I don't I believe that, man. I know we got a lot more work to do with it next year for office like that. We gain bigger, so we gain on YouTube more consistently. We
Yeah,
can even like
drop it.
we trying to go that direction. And Instagram is the only answer, but we coming. So up inside for the new year, the
Guys,
next 12 months,
yes.
will be amazing. But I am very glad that everybody has improved over the past 12 months. I've also significantly done a lot more of understanding the systematics and the thematic behind like creating stuff on the computer, video editing, recording, that sort of thing, different frame rates. That basic stuff. But it was something I was trying to get into because I myself have a greater vision for me personally doing another show which is more along the comedy line as opposed to along the more theoretic, like the more regular podcast. It's more of a comedy talk shit, relax, kick it sort of vibe. But I just tried to work out the schematics, and I also right now, from doing my own personal lives, I've come with the concept of doing a game show up on IG every week. So instead of people coming in and just talking or what's not, or people in the comments talking, we could do a game show. We could label it up. We could do something different. So I trying to work out some kinks now and figure out like what is a good schedule to do a game show.
So they can win a Vaseline lip balm or something. They win a pack of chocolate.
A friend of mine, he does that.
Well, they got these sponsors because they can know you could call these sponsors to get some new sponsors and use the old sponsors to give away stuff via the game show. So
Keita's coconut water.
Yes, you're ordinary Superman. That's not my thing, but he also does that same. He does a game show as well, and every Sunday I'm plugged in when they have it. So I like where you're going.
Is it Izzy?
Yes, please.
Oh yeah, I know
I love
Izzy. Tyrone, my boy. Tyrone's been here every week too. So Titus, he be here every week. So it's actually I should on out there on YouTube. I think on a weekend, man, for sure. But yeah, man, I trying to work out the schematics to make it more fun and still do the comedy podcast and that sort of thing too. So yeah, that's all within the works, guys. Also within the next season of episode, we'll be looking to do more interviews, more of your favorite personalities coming through and kicking it with us to to get understanding of what goes into being what they are or who they are, and to get greater understanding of how we interact and that sort of stuff. So be looking forward to that, man, for sure.
For sure. I'm about to say something again. Oh shoot.
Yeah, well, what do you think about that there? So we gonna be dealing with this sort of vibes with you, bro. I like the idea of constantly diversifying the situation. You know, so that's what we gotta keep doing. Just keep bringing it different. Keep adding to the actual mantra that this began upon. Where I was telling everybody, I don't want us to only show problems within society or whatever issues are relevant or prevalent at the point in time. I want me to also be pushing solutions for these issues, because it's easy to talk about problems, but it calls for understanding, it calls for patience, it calls for dedication, and some kind of common courtesy when you're looking for a solution for an issue, whether or not you could relate to it or not. So that's what I want this podcast and myself, along with my co-hosts, to be doing, and constantly pushing and keeping that mentality, because it ain't gonna only satisfy here, you know. When you got that kind of belief system in your life, that can trickle over into your actual life and other situations. So you can only benefit from that when you got that as your mentality. Let me find solutions. Don't let me constantly run around the bush of problems all the time, because that's easy. That takes no effort. It takes absolutely nothing to point out an issue, but it takes almost everything to find a solution for it. So let me just keep it that way. You know what I mean? But I got something else there, so coming shortly for the people I working with Allery Media Productions as usual. In that regard, he is very busy, or they are very busy at this point, and I just hoping to get a little push up in the schedule, because I need my flyer and thing done so the people could know what's going on. We gonna got something called UAY driving. I guess what UAY stand for, man. The first boy to comment what UAY stand for can get a Vaseline lip therapy, cocoa butter, 17-gram lip balm, but it used but in good condition.
Pre-owned.
Yeah.
A pre-owned Vaseline lip balm.
When nobody answering, so nobody like that. What is they? Opinion? Nah, you're wrong, Vaughn. That ain't the right thing. You like, you want this lip balm, but man, use Lardo if you got any at you.
I don't even have that.
You got Lardo? You don't be it?
No.
What? How you gonna try and be
I bet in the first few months of COVID, that was it. That was enough for me. And I'll bake before that, and I do a little baking and thing, but now I guess
still eat a plain sweet bread off here.
After 6 weeks ago, I make a sandwich bread from scratch. Be so proud of myself. You know,
they're making salt breads and all kind of things.
You gotta do these things. You gotta learn things during COVID. You got time.
I don't need to learn to
we go in and Nisa L. Up and say yes. Up and say you're driving. That's what we working with there. So my luck. So let me know when you could come with me for this, cause I don't do delivery. I gotta come for that, yeah.
That's a real empty. That hit on there, so like.
For pre-on lip balm.
For pre-on lip balm. You gotta come. You can't country say for that one, yeah. You gotta come country say, cause I don't know delivery. My delivery expensive. Lisa said keep it. Alright, I can keep it. But yeah, man, we can go. I can't wait to win everything. Normally, cause I know this year is, as I was saying in the chat, this is the year that COVID going down. You remember back in the day, Janelle, when a picture run in 30, or I guess it just get tired of making it. They used to say, yeah, this picture going down. So COVID going down this year, man. So we gonna hold some big here. We gonna got enough coconut water, and we gonna got barbecue and tea.
I can't wait for this coconut water, boy.
Man, believe it. This
when I gotta do When I gotta do a video of
rough.
me drinking Kita coconut water, if it good, I can be able to say. If it bad, I can spit it right out here. For real, I do not mix with that.
The man believe in this coconut water be that's
Lemony
small.
jelly.
That's small. But what you can say though, I want to say it for the past 12 months, with the people in the chat, our viewers and our followers, that they have really impacted us significantly. Because I remember on the first day where with Russ Skeptical, but how people even tune into this, watching the numbers rise over the amounts that they've risen and so on, it's been a process to especially know like how much people actually log in on a Thursday night throughout, and the statistics of how much people log in. That's been amazing.
And the name familiarity too. That's a big thing. The fact that you're getting constant people coming in and subscribing every week.
Yo,
to the point that we know names.
Almost got me in the supermarket last week, asking if we go podcast. It was so proud. I was like, yes, I do.
Yeah. But what we want you to do though, guys, we want you to go on YouTube and like and subscribe and watch over these videos. Watch over what you see on Thursdays. Like, you have to go and like on YouTube. All right, let's get the name out there bigger and better. Go on the podcast on Anchor, because your commitment, not just on Thursday night, but your commitment will go a long way with us.
That's a fact. That is a fact.
DT times, but yes, guys. So we really are very grateful for you, and we hope that as Peter was saying, that this year would have been as beneficial and life changing. Just going into the new year, COVID year, that as Chad said as well, that it can be going down, and as much as COVID goes down, whatever you have your intentions for the next year, that's my parting thought. Your intentions for yourselves, stay committed to yourself and do what you gotta do. Don't let nobody rent space in your head and tear it down.
Yeah, nobody can rent space in my head if any that. So furthermore, within the rest of my life, my head in outside.
Yeah.
I ain't got no apartments to rent. But we big up the sponsors. Yeah, let me big up the sponsors. Before we go, I want to say a big thank you to everybody that came out tonight. Let me large off the sponsors. So big up Trade and Cut Barber Studio. Like right there in the live, man. Big up Trade and Cuts every single time.
Straight.
Thanks for the cut this week, because look,
coming next week.
Wanna see me last week, man? Wanna see me child last week? I did look homeless. I did look James Harden. I did look homeless. I did look like a power. All sorts of different things. But no, my mom was back to life. I back to reality. You know what I mean?
Back to life.
Big up Trade Cut Barber Studio for sure. Big up Barely Sober Entertainment. Barely Sober this year.
So be barely sober.
Things ease up a little bit. We coming, man. We missed one up. But we coming back. Big up Jersey Bell for sure.
Yes, please. Always.
So we can get some more information to you guys. You can also follow the Jersey Bell page. Get some more information on the Metro Cups and so on, because ladies are options. In the month of choose to, and you can choose to have that option and choose to exercise that option. So check it out. Big up Alori Media Production for sure. When you see my two co-hosts, I talk here looking good. When you see the little stuff I talk with the screen, everything look perfect and pristine. Big up everything. Big up Alori Media Production. Big up me first. Mobile Massage Therapy. Big them up. Boom. Things ease up. So we gonna work with the massage therapy for sure. Any last words?
For sure. Barry
Any last words?
I'm right here.
I was just reading what ears he was there saying. You the done talk already, Janelle?
Yeah, I had given my last words before.
Oh yeah, you did. All right, well, as usual, people, for me, just continue to be great. Continue to keep looking out for one another. Remember, we ain't get through this by ourselves. We all have to rely on somebody or something in order to get through. So just let me keep some solidarity let me keep some togetherness, and let me just rise above this thing, and not only rise above it and then go back to the regularly scheduled program. Let me continue with what we learned in this particular 12 months. And let me continue to elevate ourselves and elevate one another. You understand? That's the most important part. I ain't just want elevation for one party and not next. I want elevation for everybody. So tell a friend to tell a friend to tell another friend what you got going on, what you people got going on, and let me start to put more food on everybody's plate. Cause this is the time now. When I remember last year, I tell when don't get carried away with the Christmas. Don't get carried away with all the celebrations. Yes, we want to enjoy, but you gotta remember a lot of things were uncertain. When I have to recognize that now is the time to be storing. You gotta be like the squirrels and things. Start storing your nuts in the event that you get another rainy situation. You and your family covered, and if you have it, try and share it. Remember the story that they given us with the driving school, who decided to take it upon themselves, going to the supermarket, put together care packages, and were asking people who were most vulnerable in your communities, and they went out on their own and did that. You understand? So we gotta be we brothers keeper, because you know nobody ain't keeping we. So we gotta do it for ourselves, because we is all we got. So remember to keep that energy, people. Thank you. I appreciate all of the support. I appreciate when I come through all the time. Share the page. We don't forget talk the things podcast is happening with this. Kiza, what day?
Wednesday.
$18 on Wednesdays, and 18 they got a special one in collaboration with AO Creative Ventures tonight. So bigger
right.
them.
And then barely famous. Barely famous podcast. Then Mr. Marley. So large up Mr. Muscle Barber Man. Boom. First customer we can got for UYY driving cheese and face, man. They gonna be litty and they can got for this for one for that. So big it up anyway. There we love one, we appreciate one. Thank you for checking in on us and keeping up with us, because I know life gonna be getting back busy now that everything started to roll out. So we still are very thankful that you come in every Thursday and spend the hour with us. We are just very appreciative, and we will not forget you guys. YouTube people.
Good night, YouTube.